Magic Mike in that mix. You tune into the Magic Show with Deluxe Syndicated. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got my man Snooze Daily. What's going on, my G?
I'm chilling, brother. How what I mean? Thank you for having me and all of that. You know what I mean? I'm just in the building.
Yo, man,
Glad to be here.
yeah, man, where you at, man? You in Long Island, New York right now?
Long Island, New York, Roosevelt, Long Island, all day long. You know what I mean?
All day, every day, huh?
All day, every day.
Yo, it's a pleasure to have you on, man. You got a few tracks. I love you two tracks, Beast and Wolverine and Sinners, your brand new one, right?
Uh-huh.
So, growing up in Long Island, right? How did hip hop take you? Like, when was your first exposure to hip hop?
I mean, my first exposure to hip hop was as a youngin', like the old days, Planet Rock and all of that stuff, African Bambaataa and all of that. But you know what I mean? As far as like really getting into it, as far as an artist. That was around the like Rakim days and De La Soul and all of that stuff from Long Island. You know, the Slick Ricks, the Dana Danes, and all of that stuff.
So, originally you were born in Queens, right? Which part of
hmm
Queens?
I was born in the old Booth Memorial in Queens and Flushing.
In Flushing, okay. So, basically Capone Noriega's area.
That's close, but more Royal Flush area.
More Flush area, big ups to World Flush.
Royal Flush, yeah.
And Mike Geronimo and all that, right? So you were
Right,
exposed to
right,
that.
that area.
You know what I mean? So last night I saw the verses with Cash Money and No Limit. Are you a Cash Money No Limit fan?
I mean, I've listened to the music. Yeah, I'm not a big fan, but I like the music.
See, the problem with hip hop now, there's no categories like rock and roll. I don't know if you feel like that. You know what I'm saying? When they say hip hop, you could have some kid in his bedroom doing some music and it don't sound like it, but they're gonna label it as that. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel like, we should categorize our labels in hip hop, like, boom bap, trap, drill?
I mean, yeah and no, because I mean, yeah, for the political aspect of it, for the longevity and the legendary status of it, yeah. But as far as like we just had 50 years of hip hop, you know what I mean? So when you look at it, it's like I really don't think it should be separated. I think it should be more unified and more community based.
All right, all right. And, you're living in New York right now, okay? And some
hmm
people say that like the South is always going to control things. You know what I mean? They're always going to be on the charts and things of that nature, right? Who in New York right now do you see as the savior of New York? Like which artist is sparking the fuse right now, and how old is he?
There's a bunch of us, and then there's those that's undiscovered. You know what I mean? Like it depends on, most people say, oh, it depends on what part of New York you're talking about. Because
Mhm.
if you look at Griselda, they brung back that boom bap sound back to a commercial status in a sense because it wasn't played on the radio at one point, but then you heard it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I think it's just more the era of the artists and what they want to make. You know what I mean? You got a lot of the older artists making dope music now. You know what I mean? The legends coming back making dope music, and then you got some of the young cats really, digging into the whole, era of just the boom bap and really spitting bars. So, you know what I mean? It's just a mixture of all. You look at Kendrick, you look at J. Cole, you know what I mean? They're more the old school, they're more the new age lyricists with a like an old soul because
Mhm.
that's more they do more of that 90s and old school era, sounding music, but it's got a today dynamic sound of it today. It mixes in with today
All
for
right.
their age group.
All right. So how'd you get the name Snooze Daily?
I have a lazy eye. It started off that, you know what I mean? I used to be called Sleep, you know what I mean, when I was making beats back in the days for everybody.
Hmm.
And basically when I started to rap again, I wanted to put out the music and get everybody's real feel without, them knowing me. So I changed the name to Snooze Daily and put out a snippet and told everybody it was my artist just to see what they feel was about the music. You know what I
Now,
mean? And
so growing
it's
up,
stuck.
You, yeah, but you must have been, you got a big imagination, right? Because you must have been reading Marvel comics, right? You got to track Beast and Wolverine. You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean? So obviously that was inspired. You know what I mean? Let's talk about this right now. Well, did you have a lot of comic books underneath your bed? You know what I mean? And when you get bored, because nowadays kids love the cell phones and tablets and things of that nature, right? But us, we had to use our imagination. Did you have a bunch of comics under your bed?
Comic books, regular books, cartoons, drawing, period. You know what I mean? A lot of it was just coming up, doing all of that, drawing. You know, you buy the comic books for collecting basketball cards, you know, all the regular kid stuff everybody do, but not as much as today.
Okay. Well, you know what I mean? Who produced this track, Beast and Wolverine?
Track was produced by Phantom of the Beat, Haj G from UMC's. You know, also did the track Oh Lord.
Let's just stop the press for a minute, man. You still in contact with UMCs? I love that blue cheese track back in the day. That was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah?
I mean, I'm a fan too, so
Yeah.
it's like the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? My former partner Crack Val from IGT passed away. You know, years couple 2017. But he introduced me to Phantom of the Beehive G. You know, he was signed to Loud Records. You know what I mean? And he introduced me to Haj G, and we built a relationship. And you know, when my man died, it was more like, let me get back to this music. So I hit Haas up and he was down. So we just got busy and we started making music.
All right, let's hear that track right now. Let's hear Beast and Wolverine by my man Snooze Daily right here on the Magical Deluxe Syndicated. Let's go. Brah!
Collaboration, y'all. It's like the smoke push out real smooth. That's that platinum kush, you know what I mean? Feeling real bionic right now. Close intentions, stepping out inside the booth. My drip different, ill swag, nigga, cause I'm the truth. No cape, I'm getting cake, flying in the coop. Pimp game, got your girl looking like a nigga cute. I move different, spit fire, inhale venom. 2020 vision, hit long range to lift them. Exquisite on the rhythm, flossing. Purple be my denim, blue cheese like Haj G. Put you MCs in coffins. Spider senses, off in your off switch. Hancock like Hancock, watch lanes get off quick. Channel energy, got me fly without the cockpit. Beast and Wolverine, snoozing record with the hot shit. Phantoms like Xavier, my nigga, when we drop hits. David Banner doors like the Hulk, fuck a locksmith. I'm all about them digits, M's is the mission when we squat up. Swinging hammers like dog get chopped up.
The wicked games we play, struggle just to live life every day. Hustle just to get it right every way.
And we are back. Now, have you seen that movie Sinners?
Yes.
Now, what was your take on that? I met a homie of mine. He talked about 20 minutes about the film, got me interested in watching it. He said you'd be watching it about 20 times. I watched it once, I was satisfied with it. What did you get from that film?
I mean, to me, what I got from the film is the fight of good and evil. You know what I mean? And either way you look at it, it's like the brothers, to me, the brothers was more of a one conscious person. You know what I mean? They both had different identities. They were both brothers and twins, but there was a part where one worked for one boss and another worked for another boss. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
As enforcers. So, when they come together, it's pretty much, to me, it's more like the conscience of one person. You got that good side, you got the bad side. You know what I mean? And it was more of a struggle between that for me.
And also that young man that could play the guitar, right? They wanted that.
Hmm.
And I see that as a part of the music industry that was kind of mixed into that film,
Yeah, yeah,
from what
yeah.
I saw, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Now, your track Sinners, is there a music video for this? Because here on the Magic Deluxe Syndicate, we play music videos, we play the audio. I was trying to grab a video. You gonna work on a video for that real soon?
No video yet, but we working it out. I'm most of the stuff that I've been putting out has been done, like the music I've put out, but the concept of the videos and everything is more. I want to make sure it fits. Like Beast and Wolverine, the video is out. We pretty
Mm.
much did the concept because when I dropped it in 2022, it was more talking about how AI is about to take over. You
Mm.
know what I mean? And
Mm.
if you're an artist, once they get your voice and your recognition and your mannerisms, do they really need you anymore?
Well, I was just explaining on an interview right before yours where it's like I want Snooze Daily mixed with Kim, kind of sounding like Tupac over a Terminator X beat, but produced by DJ Premier, right? You type that
Hmm.
in within 30 seconds, you got the track. You know what I'm saying?
So
So,
that
so that right there is the starting of the fall of the industry. This is what I believe. You know what I'm saying? There's absolutely
well,
no point for the artist now. Or you could use AI to build your album. I heard a rock group the other day, because they play rock and roll music. They played this song, they put it into AI. AI did something to the track. They played the song back out again live with guitars and drums. And they did it. They went back and forth, and then the
it
final process.
reprograms it.
Yeah, yeah, whatever they doing over there. Eventually, I'll catch on, man. Magic Mike, right? Because if you don't catch
Well,
on,
that's
that shit will leave you.
well, that's the thing. When it was first coming out, remember when they did the AI rapper thing?
Yes, they did. Mm-hmm.
That's really why Beast and Wolverine was made. It was made because of the idea of that. Like when I made that Beast and Wolverine, it was before the whole AI rapper thing they made. It was
Mm-hmm.
before that. So it was kind of perfect timing. You know what I mean? And when
Yeah.
they dropped the AI rapper, you see how everybody responds to it was they really didn't like it.
No.
But then now, with the AI generation generators and stuff like that, you can control what AI, your prompts is how you control AI. So once you get to knowing what it is, you can prompt your AI and control it that way. So like I have some posts now with the AI generated with the cartoons and stuff to kind of like
Well,
give
it's
it a
good.
little.
Like I was saying, it's good to give it an edge. We just had a flyer the other day for an event, and TikTok asked me to run it through AI. I get it. It's great for the enhancement. Yes, right? But what about all those hours that the producer puts in to make that beat, to engineer that beat on the track board? What happened to all that time with the artist writing the lyrics and draw? It's what I'm saying. It's not gonna destroy. It's not like the music industry is gonna be here, obviously, right? But there won't be a need for so much artists, right?
Well,
And
that
then and
all
then and then and,
depends.
and then the demand for real artists. There's gonna be a demand for real artists at some time. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Well, that's the whole thing. The demand for the real artists is up to the artist. You have to now find ways to go around the AI, and if there's ways to do that, it's basically going straight to consumer. We all know who controls most of the airways, so you got to figure out what's the best way to cut them out and go straight to your fans. Look at
which
the
is
Russells.
which is you got your tape, you got your CD, right? You got your vinyl. Like Cardi B did that. She had a successful album, you know what I mean? And she showed people that she was on the outside of her van or whatever vehicle
Selling.
SUV, and she's selling her music, right? Which made other people look and say, "Hey, she's selling. Why not download it?" Right? Some people ordered it, right? And right there, you could see those weren't bots on those streams. She's selling it by hand, and you could probably pick those albums up at your local Walmart and stuff because Walmart and them places, you know what I mean, they still sell CDs and stuff in them places, right? So you got to look at it. I
Some of
think,
them.
yeah, some of them, but I think everything's doing a 360. I know out in Asia and parts of the UK, analog is actually really coming back. They're starting to sell cassette players in stores
Well,
now. It's crazy.
there's still places that sell it. You just, as an artist, you got to do your research and figure out what works for you.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly. To
mean?
sum it up, to
As
sum
an
it up.
independent artist, you don't have the big machines, so you got to figure ways to get your product to the people. So you got to turn into a businessman as an artist as well. You know what I
That's right.
mean? So it's different hats. So it's not just rap and make music. You know what I mean? So a lot of times I'll make the music and just put it out that it's out there, but now I'm figuring out, okay, how I'm gonna do these videos to match and make sense because I want the people. the attention they always say the attention span is not that strong as it used to be, but I think people only pay attention to what they want to pay attention to now. There's so
Exactly.
much stuff out there that they only pay attention to what they want to and what they have time to afford to pay attention to. So at that point, you kind of want to put yourself in that predicament. So you kind of, for me, my personal vision is you kind of gotta have some nostalgia to you, and you gotta kind of have some mystery to you. You know what I mean? Posting yourself every day is good, but also posting content is good, but you can't always put yourself out there in front of everybody and let them see everything.
Thank you. Right? Like, you know, I'll use my social media for instance. Whatever I do in my life when I'm eating, I don't show that. If it's something to do with the media, I show the media. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or such as, for a whole month, this brother over here just having pictures of himself. Like, we don't care about that. You know what I mean? Nowadays, we don't care. What can you do? How is that picture valuable? Like, what are you good for? You know what I mean? Basically, you know what I mean?
Well, that's how I try and do my music. When I
Mm-hmm.
write, I try and paint pictures. So
Mm-hmm.
like when you hear the Beast and Wolverine and Sinners, it's more a painted picture of my mind state and what I feel. And I'm trying to bring you into my world, and hopefully it's relative and relative to what other people are going through. You
I
know what I
was
mean?
I will say right now, this whole digital, like over COVID, I know a lot of people that left the mainstream airwaves like FM radio and all that shit, right? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Satellite. And then, even the big ones, Tucker Carlson, a lot of people. And then because of the name they built on this digital platform, it is absolutely amazing. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting more hits on my Instagram because, I am collaborating, Facebook, than my YouTube. Some videos get higher on YouTube, whatever, right? And then when the audio airs, they be like, yo, I didn't tune in. Where can I hear that? It's like they want visuals now. It's different. And like you said, you want to bring it to the consumer, right? So, here in the Magic Show Deluxe Syndicated, we're trying to bring these classic artists, legendary artists, even new artists that make sense. You know what I mean? Hell,
Definitely.
hell, I got like almost over 1,500 Facebook groups, right? And 1,000 of those are related with music. So
Okay.
when I was like really on like the FM, right? Because they get you to like just stay on the FM. Don't worry about social media. Don't worry about that. We'll take care of that. No, no, no. When they see a flyer go up, hey, listen every Friday. It gets boring. They want to see visuals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then all the marketing and stuff I've done, I have outlets where artists can get their spins. You know what I mean? I can get you like it's different now, right? Like you were saying,
Yeah.
give the customer, the consumer what they want straight up. You don't need a middleman to tell you what to play, who to interview, or if they're getting offended of, what your guest is saying. But you know what I'm saying, my brother. Everything's all underground with us
Yeah.
right now. You know what I mean? I think hip hop.
Well, I think that's even better
Mm,
because see now with the commercial, they try and control what you can say and what you can't say.
mm-hmm.
When you right now what you're doing, you have more control. They still have FCC rules and all of that, but
I
at the
gotta
end of
cut.
the day, you have more freedom.
That's right. And still, I'm cutting this down for audio too as well. So you got freedom. I'm just saying you can make the content you want, right?
Right.
Like I gotta give Tucker Carlson and all these people credit. You know what I'm saying? When Fox got rid of his ass, he didn't say it was the end. He went on Twitter, right? And then people started watching the show on Twitter like it was a TV station. Now the guy's all over the place. You know what I mean? It's all about selling yourself and do you make sense? Like, why should I buy your album? Why should I listen to what you're saying? Well, we got artists like Snooze Daily, you know what I mean, that are legendary artists, man. And we gotta keep the torch alive here. We have to, you know?
Well, the thing for me is like right now, you know what I mean? I deal with a lot of the younger artists when I see them. I make sure that they got they T's crossed, they I's dotted, make sure their paperwork is right. If they're gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
make sure they got their registration. There's no more
Mm-hmm.
artist development. You
No.
know what I mean? I come from an era of artist development.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what it is in some of these artists. They have the vision, they have the know-how. So it's a win-win on both sides because I'm able to help them on the business side from learning the business side myself, and
Mm-hmm.
then they actually teach me the digital side that they're more privy to than I
Privy
am.
to. Exactly. I will say that to the young generation. They're very privy to the Bitcoin mixing in with their music and this and that. You know what I mean? Like, I got to hand it to them. And I do ask a young gentleman like you, know what I mean? I do go up to them and, yo, G, listen, I'm going to put my pride down. I'm really having problems right now. Like, I seem to can't get no views over here, right? And then, the youth told me, goes, how many Facebook groups do you have? I didn't even use Facebook groups anymore. Like, I thought that shit wasn't in. That's where it's at right now,
That's
right?
where it's at.
Because Facebook groups is where it's at right now. Believe it or not, you want to move vinyl, you want to move albums, there could be a Facebook group where you can sell your music, specialize in just getting vinyl, right? You know what I mean? So you'd be hearing your music. And by the way, how can they get some music of yours? What is your social media? How can they contact you?
They could always contact me at Snooze Daily on Instagram. You know, all the social medias is Snooze Daily, original spelling SNOOZE DAILY. Or they can email me at snoozedaily at gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? I'm always open for collabs. I'm always open, for producers to send packs or whatever, and we work. And when I work with producers, I usually split everything 50-50. There's no need in trying to play the game or nothing like this. Let's split everything down the middle and let's try and make a million.
All right, we're gonna hear your track "Sinners," brand new, straight off the press. Thank you so much, Snooze Daily. Is there anything you want to say to the public right now? Because
Um,
we're going into 2026. Is there anything that we should know? Like, what about your shows? You touring? You heading up to Canada here?
well, I got some shows coming up. On the 30th, I should be in Connecticut with my brother Jamal Milton. I've been running around with him. We got a song called Yet that's out right now. Um, I'm actually just working on visuals for the album. The album drops November 26th. Shock the world. You know what I mean? And I just tell everybody keep grinding, man. It's almost the end of the year. And just because it's the end of the year don't mean life stops. It just means that's the end of that year. So keep it moving. Get yourself prepared for the next year.
I love how you said that, man, because something could happen to you when you lose somebody. You could lose a wife, you could lose a valuable piece of jewelry. And it's like you're going into the new year. Let's just start fresh. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid of change. Just go forward. You know what I mean? You could get a
Yeah.
dime. You could get a nice dime piece in, in the next following year,
Yeah,
or
like everything is just
yeah, everything's 360, ups and downs. That's how we do it. You know?
yeah. You're gonna have your days. Listen, if everything was 100%, all good, the world be a better place. But it's the world we live in right now, so just make the best of it. Do the best you can, and I always tell everybody give themselves some grace because sometimes we get down on ourselves by giving ourselves a goal, and we might not reach it. And then we get all frustrated and want to beat ourselves up, and that's what causes some depression for people to fall off. So I always tell people give themselves some grace, man. You know what I mean? Everything's not gonna work, but as long as you keep working at it, as long as you're taking a step to keep going, it'll eventually get better.
Of course. And have strength, focus. You know what I mean? And wisdom. You know what I mean? And sometimes if you have to be alone, you gotta be alone. Because sometimes a man can have an army alone, right? Still have your circle. You know what I mean? And how do you feel about having all kinds of people around? You know what I mean? Are you
My circle, nah, my circle is very all right. It's kind of wild to explain, but I'm gonna try and explain it. My circle is small, but it's big at the same time. If you get me, I have a circle of friends that I keep very close. Those are considered like my family, my brothers. That we rock with every day. It's a handful of them. I can count them on my hand. That are real close. Then I have some real brothers that's out there. They doing what they do. We still cool. It's all love, but we just got our different paths. You know what I mean? And then we
Mm-hmm.
got those that I'm acquaintances. So I got like three level of circles, but my circle is small. That small one is the one that those are people I hold close to my heart. People that are allowed in my house. People that are allowed to be within that realm of vulnerability, if I would say.
Well, you know what I mean? My brother, we're coming into the winter season. Time to spit out some media for these people. You know what I mean? That's what we do. And then next year in the summer, spring, you know what I mean? When you go
Oh
out into the
yeah, yeah.
public, when you go into the public, you get to see how much work you put in by the smiles, by their eyes popping open. Like, damn, there's Snooze Daily. Shit, man. Those two singles he did, those two albums, damn. You know? But listen, my bro, we're gonna hear your video. We're gonna see your video, Sinners, hear your track right here on the Magic Show Deluxe. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate you, bro, for having me. And definitely tune in, yo. No, and remember, November 26th, Shock the World, Snooze Daily. It will be out there, all platforms. Tap in. It's gonna
You're
be a dope album, I promise.
You heard the man, and he's releasing an album in a time where nobody's doing albums. But when people do an album nowadays, especially coming from the real hip hop era, it's always a treat. All right, go cop that, guys. All right, here's this video, Sinners, right here on the National Deluxe. Thank you so much, Snooze Daily. All right, one.
All right, brother. One.
Yeah, yeah,
Urban?
Snooze. I get biz for mine. They already know. It's 21. Yeah. Snooze. Now walk. Let's go. It go depth before designer, loyalty over money. Fake friends lose the mask and stay far from me. Waiting losses, formulated the recipe. Cooking with the bosses, concealing my weaponry. Round table alliance, walk tunes to a better beat. Bruise whack rappers, crowd tranced off the energy. Art of war basic, a savage with the penmanship. Belly train, not your average, I'm beyond different. Hit the snooze button, get lifted. Eternally rest in peace, my mistress will give it. Aim immaculate, modern warfare, your ceiling. Brought my own sound to the game where the ill got feeling. Flow been killer, orchestrating the madness. OG Snoop shining like an islander hat-trick. Neck, ears, wrist, flickering the blind, you bastards. Master of my craft, outlasting you has been sold at the pearly. In the flesh, I'm crashing, flying the friendly clouds. And yes, I'm the captain. This dosage is the comatose and become a classic. If you owe me dough, nigga, you better.